I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Friday, June the 26th, brought to you in part by Zactran. Bovine respiratory disease steals pounds. Zactran pounds back. Remember to observe your 35-day withdrawal period after treatment. To learn more about Zactran, go to Zactran.com or visit with your BI representative. Midsummer break is upon us already, and we kind of forgot that we were in the middle of the summer here going through this pandemic and all, but I tell you what, usually about this time of the year, right around 4th of July, and it's usually before the 4th of July, you see a lot of your sale barns shut down, especially in the southeast there, because your shippers, they just wind down. There's no need for them to start trying to put loads together when they're not going to be able to finish them out, and so they'll shut down. So a lot of your sale barns will be shut down. Get back into the meat of the country, and a lot of them are still kind of behind selling cattle, and the yearlings are rolling right now. So some of those are going to continue to have sales because the 4th of July lands on a Saturday, so some markets are going to keep going. Joplin Regional Stockyards, I was there on Thursday. They're going to keep right on rolling, not going to shut down. Some of your others will probably shut down, and then a lot of your Kansas sales and some of those are on harvest break anyway. But I'm giving you fair warning right now. No feeder flashes next week. They've been working me like a barred mule. Not really, but I promised my daughters that I would take them on a little vacation, so we're headed down to the South Texas beaches if they don't shut them down because of this new corona outbreak here, but going down to South Padre, and they told me that we're not shutting things down every afternoon or evening to do these videos. So anyway, I got to mind them. But that's kind of what I'm going to do, and I'm giving you guys fair warning now, so we'll see if I got a good enough following to pick back up after a week off. But talk about what's going on out there. On Thursday, had a very bearish hogs and pigs report come out, and you said, well, we're not dealing with hogs and pigs. Well, it's protein, but total head counts there. They came in at 105.2 of a year ago. The estimations were 103.7. That's very bearish. And all of your other numbers that come out were bearish too, but I won't bore you with all that. But likely it's going to put pressure. They're going to go down, going to put pressure on your live cattle futures, and then of course your feeder cattle futures are a derivative of that, and they will probably fall under more pressure too. But they've just been ignoring the pressure here. Your cattle futures have been for the last several weeks here, and even though we got a lot of cattle backed up and they haven't gone away, guys, we've got a lot of them out there. And we've got to work through them. We have yet to go past a year ago slaughter, even though we've gotten back up to normal. We're within grabbing distance of it, but we can't seem to get over it. But it's just been staving off the pressure here, and we're glad of it, and I hope you guys are getting your yearlings sold, even if they don't come till late in the summer or even early fall. I hope you guys are getting them sold, getting them contracted, getting them sold on a video, or protecting them on the board or doing something, because I sure recommend that. But a lot of yearlings moving. It's starting to get dry around a few places in the lower Midwest there. And guys are complaining in southwest Missouri, where I'm at right now, how dry they are, and I tell them they need to take a trip to Amarillo, Texas, because they ain't seen dry yet. But your corn market is down hard again. I tell you what, this corn's not worth anything. And it helped your feeder cattle board on Thursday also, and didn't go up much, but it kept it from going down. But corn was down 6.5 to 7 cents on your nearby. Your September contracts on corn are 3.20.5, and you get up there in corn country, and those outfits are dealing with a basis that is way under the board. And because these ethanol plants aren't up and running big like normal, so there's a lot of extra corn going around. We'll feed it to cattle, but that's why you guys up in the north have been so aggressive on buying these feeder cattle, trying to turn it into some kind of return. Let's talk about your board on Thursday. June live cattle futures up 87 cents at 94.17. August down 27 at 96.07. August now trading at a premium to your spot cash. right now because Southern Plains market was mostly 95 on Thursday, and you got August contracts. That's where all the play is. Only thing going on in June is guys bailing so they don't get delivered upon from some guys that have cattle that can't get scheduled. But it's just about to wind down here to nothing. But August 96.07, you go on out front from there on your live cattle contracts, and they were down 2 cents to up 65. August feeder cattle up 37 cents at 133 and a quarter. September's up 32 at 134 and a half. You're going out from there on your out fronts on feeder cattle, up 27 cents to up 70 cents. Fat cattle trade, we had some more trade on Thursday, but let's look at the trade we've had so far through the week. And it's been kind of nice through the pandemic to be selling cattle just about every day. You can kind of get a feel for the market, even though it's been kind of topsy-turvy and the charity bids are out there. Not much charity going on this time, this week, and guys were really anxious just to get a bid of any kind and be able to get those cattle scheduled for slaughter. But up through Wednesday, 53,300 head, and the sales from Monday through Wednesday range 95 to 105 live for steers and heifers there, with a weighted average on live steers at 96.84 the first half of the week. That's down big, guys, and mostly $5 lower there. But dress sales 152 to 167, still a big spread on those, but your weighted average on dress steers up through Wednesday was 154.89. Then on Thursday we had more sales. Iowa lighter test because they'd sold several up earlier in the week, but 700 head at $98 live in Iowa. Dress sales from 153 to 155. Nebraska 3,700 head, 95 to 96 live, 152 to 155 dress. Kansas about 7,000 head, and we hadn't seen this before, but on the bottom of the price range, 93 and a half. But a lot of 95 and then quite a bit of 97, but still mostly $5 lower in the Southern Plains. But 93 and a half to 97 bought cattle in Kansas. Texas about 3,000 head, 93 to 97. So they're getting them down there, and I've told you guys, wouldn't be surprised to get these fats in the 80s cash. And it looks like it's going to happen here in the next several weeks, guys, and that will change the outlook, I guarantee you. Box beef cutout values are now below where they were when the pandemic first started showing it was going to affect your cattle and beef markets. But choice cuts on Thursday afternoon, 208.26, down 143. Selects 199.93, now under $200 on your select. That was down 176 for the day. Continued good movement there. 208 loads of cuts, grinds, and trimmings. You got to hand it to the packers. They're continuing to move this product, but we're getting to see how much they're moving it because they're not throwing it off into out front sales as they're still filling the pipeline, and the sales are current delivery, and so we're getting to see that market on there. But this is the time of the year, grilling season, and people are usually buying beef to put on the grills for 4th of July and things like that, and it should be better than that, but it's pretty depressed box beef and been very, very volatile. You guys remember when it was up over $4.50 a pound here not too long ago, and now it's plunged back below where we started with the pandemic. But slaughter, respectable, but we can't seem to get past year ago levels, and until we do, we're not gaining any ground, guys, on these big cattle. But 479,000 through Thursday, that was 1,000 more than last week, 11,000 less than the same week a year ago. Your actual slaughter for the week ending June the 13th came in, and we've got averaged steer carcasses at 896 pounds. That's big. That's 4 pounds more than the previous report. 47 pounds larger than the same time a year ago. That's your average dress steer weights, guys. 47 pounds bigger than a year ago, and 36 pounds bigger than the 5-year average. That's kind of bearish there, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them go over 900 pounds here before long, even though we should be killing mostly calf feds right now. But a lot of big cattle out there, and don't be fooled, they're still out there. Let's talk about your feeder cattle markets. Real-time index on DV auction late on Thursday at 130.89. That's up 24 cents compared to Wednesday's close. But let's look at some of your big markets out there. Pratt, Kansas. Pratt Livestock, Winter Livestock there. 3,300 head there. Had a heck of a sale in Pratt. Feeder steers over 800 pounds were steady to $3 higher. Over 850 pounds, excuse me. Feeder steers weighing under 8.5, $2 to $3 lower. I've continued to, we've seen that in the southern plains. Now, if this would have been 200 or 300 miles further north, then you'd have probably seen the opposite, because these farmer feeders, they're wanting to turn that corn into cash somehow. So they like those middle to lighter weight feeder steers more, and they're willing to give more for those. And I saw that Joplin Regional Stockyards had northern buyers in there for the weanback special, and your lighter feeder steers, big calves but long time weaned, and your lighter weight yearling steers were selling in comparison quite a bit better than the big heavier cattle. But feeder heifers, $2 higher, and all of those weighed over 800 pounds, so that would have been similar to your big heavy feeder steers. But calves were not well tested at Pratt. A stick out sale, and it is a stick out, guys. Pratt, Kansas, 61 head, 931 pound steers, $133.75. How you like that? Let's talk about the video. I mentioned Northern Livestock Video on our previous visit there, and they had a pretty good sale to start out. They got more of it to go on Friday here, but saw a lot of the fall calves selling, and they'd be those northern cattle up there, mostly in Montana, Wyoming, places like that. A lot of the 6-weight steer calves, and they'd be ballers delivering in the fall of the year at $150, and that's pretty impressive there, because you know, a lot of people would think maybe wouldn't see that, but some of your experts are saying that by the time we get into the meat of the fall, they expect these fats to be back up well over $1, and things to be kind of coming back around. Then once we get through all those big heavy cattle, then we've got something to look forward to, because we've got lighter numbers coming. We know that. We've seen that from our calf crop is going to be lighter. And you know, as we go on further, I think it's going to be good. This cow market's been good. The hamburger's been up. Cow market's been good. People have been kind of sick of the market, sick of their cattle, and thinning the herds down. We're seeing some of these bulls bringing from 120 to 130 up here in the Midwest, and that just goes to show that they're grinding a lot more of those steers and heifers because of the high hamburger market. They're grinding more of your steers and heifers. Those are pretty fatty, and so it takes a lot of that lean meat to get them back down there where it's something they can sell for a hamburger product there. And I tell you what, there's not enough of these big heavy muscle bulls to go around, and they bring it all. I mean, you know, $30 more than a fat steer, a choice steer. And I talked about my friends there at Lepley Creek Livestock there at Wolf Creek, Montana. Got the results of those cattle. 245 head of all black yearling steers there for late August delivery to weigh 875. They bring 130 and a half, and we've been talking about that 130 level on an 850 pound steer, and these bring 130 and a half, weighing 8 6 bits there, and that's a pretty good sale on those cattle. And those were just really fancy, but just commodity cattle. Not a whole lot of bells and whistles on them. Of course, a good health program, but not all natural or anything like that. Let's talk about some other sales that happened on Thursday. I mentioned I was at Joplin Regional Stockyards for the Weanback Special. Market was awful good. A lot of buyers in the seats, and a lot of them with some horsepower there. And you know, it's hard to judge. I hadn't had a Weanback Special for quite a while, but the market was better than your Monday sale. Of course, you got bigger drafts. They're more uniform, you know, and your buyers are at ease because everything's been long time weaned and a good health program on them. So they're not worried about that, and probably selling some cattle carrying a little bit more flesh and fill at higher prices than what we would have saw on Monday. But one stick out sale I saw in Joplin, 67 head, 743 pound steers, bring $146 in Southwest Missouri. That's awful good. How about Bluegrass Stockyard South in Stanford, Kentucky, 62 head, 836 pound steers at $130.90. That's way out in Kentucky, guys. But the top sale I got anywhere come to me from Jason Allen there, co-owner of Lamona Livestock, Lamona, Iowa. 80 head of the Jim Modis cattle, weigh 708 at $153.50. And that's your feeder flash for Friday.